I don't think you can actually make a mistake in cheating because it is all of the bad decisions. It's a culmination of all the bad decisions that you made from the initial text, from the initial look, and that type of deal. So once you actually were to get caught cheating, I mean, how is that even resolved? Because all these other things led up to it.
Yep.
So like, how can you even justify that to a partner, or like, why would somebody even be open to taking you back if they know you kind of went through all this to do that?
It's a great question, man. Here's what I want to challenge first. I want to challenge, not what you said. I just want to challenge the thought that you actually have to get caught.
Oh, guys, we can cheat without getting caught. We have to tune in here.
Yeah. In 5, 3, 2, 1, confess it. Why you got to get caught? You just going to play the game until like you're trapped in a corner and, I knew you was going to find out, man. I was so tired of lying to you. And I know, but I really do love you.
Oh, so just don't stop. You saying the better action could be?
No, I'm saying stop, right? Because there's no good that could come from it. But what I'm saying is, instead of getting caught, just confess it.
Well, there's no. But so let me challenge that, because there's not a lot of good that comes from confessing either. Actually, there's. You know how hard
good for who?
For either person, because what you do with her is you destroy her peace, you destroy her trust, you destroy each other's trust. And I would argue it's even harder to rebuild back trust than it is to even have initial trust put in place when you meet somebody on day one. So that rebuilding process, in many ways, some people look at, I mean, is it even worth rebuilding this thing? I mean, girlfriend marriage, probably a little bit different investment, so you probably have a different mindset behind it. But that rebuilding process and what you break and damage in that confession is just so hard. I mean, Tim, is it not? Do we not just throw this girl away, never deal with it again, confess it to God, and just keep it pushing?
No, we don't. And so here's what I would say. It sounds like you think the way she will be hurt in confession will be less than the way she would be hurt if you got caught?
No. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if you're at the point where now you're even thinking about confessing, that means you don't want to do this shit no more.
Correct.
So that means you're like, I'm done with this.
Yep.
I want to just flush all my weed down the toilet.
Yep. Absolutely.
I want to pour all my liquor down. I'm done with this lifestyle, right?
Yes, let's go. Yes, absolutely.
Well, flush the chick down the toilet.
Yeah. No.
You know what I'm saying?
No. So here's what I would say. Why would you make that decision for her?
Well, it's not that I'm making a decision for her. It's just that I'm not necessarily disrupting a peace or breaking the established trust. And don't get me wrong. I do believe that they say, the truth shall set you free, right? Mm-hmm. And I get that. I think telling her the truth is actually more so to relieve your conscience than to do anything for her. In many ways, you are really throwing off her peace for your consciousness. I mean, to free up your conscience. And, I mean, depending on how you want to look at that, in some ways we can call that selfish, right? But in general, if you truly can keep your word to yourself and never go back to cheating on another woman, truly have a change of heart, have learned from that experience, and want to be a great husband to your wife, and now she literally has to never even be broken, harmed, or you have to rebuild any trust from that, is it not something you just move forward with as this new reborn man?
I wouldn't. And the reason why I wouldn't is because that means that you've started over and she never got a chance to. So literally what you're rebuilding is one-sided, and you're still not seen, known, and valued at the deepest level of who you are.
And you still got this secret.
And it's still a secret. So what I would say is human beings are hella resilient. Like, survive hurricanes and then move to different cities and then start over and get shot and learn to live, lose limbs and learn to live, lose eyesight and adjust and adapt. Human beings are incredibly resilient. And when trust is broken, and in most cases with cheating, it's not broken, it's shattered. When you break something, if you break something clean, you can set it back in place, right? If it breaks in 3 or 4 pieces, super glue, clack, clack, clack. You're going to see some lines, put a little glaze over it, You're moving on. You shatter something, it's never going to be. It's never going to be what you want it to be again. You make a mosaic with that. Mosaics look 10 times better than broken vessels put back together again. So mosaics can be both of them have value. Mosaics are just wildly attractive because of what can be happen after something is shattered. But you cannot get that if you don't invite the other person in. You have to run the risk. Now, I'm telling you something based on something I told you earlier that I couldn't get into. So hear what I'm not saying. Okay?
Right.
Right?
Right.
You can have something incredibly beautiful after a breach if two people are doing the work and are mature about it. I know at a very surface level, if my nigga ever cheat on me, I'm out. Damn that. I'm not going to take it. You ain't. I won't be the fool twat. Right?
Right.
I get it. Right? I can never get over it. There's no way it can happen. I can never forgive the person in my mind. The age-old adage, never say never, is there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what you can handle till you go through it.
Mm-hmm.
I swore if my younger brother ever died, that I would become a hitman, like a straight-up contract killer. Because I do think I have the capacity of taking a life and going to bed at night. That's dangerous and scary. My brother died on September 17th of 2004. And everybody's still alive. I haven't caught a case. This darkest season of my whole life, I never thought I could live without Miles Edward Ross. And I'm still here. Because human beings are resilient.
You know, Tim, it's incredible you say that. And we had a married couple come on here, and they talked about very open and transparent about the infidelity that they dealt with in the marriage. And usually hear guys cheat. We actually had the wife of the relationship open about the infidelity. And she then talked about how she was motivated by cheating because it was a vindictive act.
Correct.
And when I reposted that on Instagram and Facebook, I don't know, Facebook just seemed a little bit more violent. I don't know what the hell going on with the people with Facebook, active Facebook accounts.
They've been on it for a minute.
Y'all all need therapy.
You took the words out of my mouth. They've been there the longest. They're the longest of the social media apps. Them jokers are.
And they're more mature crowd. They done been through some shit.
Yeah, that's very true.
Because them women in there was like, yup, you better cheat back, girl. Yup, get his ass. Yeah. He know how to. So I'm just thinking, damn, if you expose this, I bring this side of this woman out that potentially can bring these additional issues that now I may have to worry about. Oh, damn, she cheated on me. Oh, hell no. I can't take this. Oh, damn. Now we done broken another home because to hell with you, woman.
Right.
I know I cheated, but you can't cheat.
Yeah,
and now we done got a broken family. We just created all of this mess. And we looking at it, 50% of marriages that ended in divorce. Mm-hmm. So we saying people are resilient, but they ain't acting very resilient.
Well, so to that point,
go ahead.
People are resilient, right? But restoration and rehabilitation is work. And most people don't want to do the work. Mm-hmm. So as resilient as people are, let's also throw in the fact people are lazy. Lazy. When I tell you lazy. My therapist told me something that broke my heart. Like I got pissed, and then I was like, and then it made the whole world make sense. And this is oversimplistic, but just hear me out. She said, only 1% of people on the planet do their soul work.
Damn.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
That destroyed me. Because I'm an empath and I'm a very altruistic person. I have hope for the whole world. Everybody can be better. That's my whole life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I preached Jesus for 26 years. Everybody can have the savior of the world, right? I'm sitting there, my face is looking like,
Well, it's 1% of people getting all the money too. It's like these laws, these universal laws, they apply to everything.
Yeah.
So you get out what you put in.
Yeah.
So you might understand that with money, but you don't understand that with your spirituality.
And your emotional, in your soul, right?
Exactly.
Your emotional work. So she said 1% of people do their work on the whole planet. I thought to myself, oh my God. Oh my God. That's that. Oh. This explains cocaine. This explains Xan. This explains Molly.
Yep.
This explains alcohol. This explains sex. This explains human trafficking. This explains porn industry. This explains everything. If only 1% of people are doing their soul work down to the deepest level, that means everybody else is on medication. So whether it's a vice, like snorting a line of coke, or I'm playing Madden for 9 hours a day,
yeah,
for no money, I'm just playing Madden and smoking blunts. What?
The life.
You know what I'm saying? That means you're escaping something that you actually don't want to deal with. And you've heard the analogy, or not the analogy, the phrase career-ending injury.
Yeah.
Right? Here's what I found out. Most career-ending injuries aren't career-ending. The rehab was so painful, they just chose to end the career.
That's real.
It's not even a career-ending injury.
They just gave up.
That's why they respect
no point to bounce
Kobe
back.
Bryant so much, because Kobe Bryant came from what should have been a career-ending injury.
Achilles used to be a career-ending injury, except it was never a career-ending injury. The rehab is so long and so painful, it actually hurts more than the initial injury sustained. And you have to do work for 10 times as long.
Months at a time.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's an 18-month injury to come back from. I think Cole came back in 12.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
So rehab is painful. Most of us don't want to dig into the deep places of our heart that are painful. And so we just throw something on top of it. So your girl was in pain. That's why she went to go have sex with another dude. That didn't fix nothing. So it was vindictive, and all the girls in the Facebook, that's right, go get some dick. You know what I'm saying? He got pussy, you get dick.
And they miserable
and she went and got some foreign dick. I bet you she didn't feel better.
She said she didn't.
Of course she didn't. She's a human being with a soul, fam. Who wants to be out here having revenge sex?
Right.
I don't even like you.
I've never done that before, but they just seem
revenge sex.
Silly.
No,
Oh my gosh,
that's crazy.
That's crazy. As opposed to just sitting down and grieving the deep pain of having the person you thought you were exclusive with lie to you, cheat on you, and break your heart, and you sit with that grief and mourn it and realize I'm gonna have to do some work to be whole again as a person. And if I choose to stay with you, we're going to have to do 3 times that work to be whole again as a couple. That's work. Most people don't want to do that. So resilience, that hasn't changed. Effort has. We are raising lazy people. They quit on everything, not just relationships, jobs. 2020 hit. I ain't coming to work. You gonna give me money to stay home? I'll never come back to work. Jokers was quitting waitressing. How are you quitting a job that already has the most flexible hours ever? Because we make it easy for people to get out. And this is why I think 50% of here y'all getting me. I'm getting turned up now. Right. So here I wish I could get 1 million signatures to sign this petition for married people. Marriage is public. They usually have a ceremony. And they invite witnesses. They rent a venue. They feed people food. Here's my petition. You want to get a divorce? It must be public. You must invite everybody that you invited to the wedding, to the divorce. You must rent the same venue again, and you must feed us. And you must publicly renounce it in the same way you publicly announced it. And let's just see if that slows down the rate just a bit. If I got to get everybody back together and walk back in that church or that botanical garden or that Jamaican seashore and go, I know I said to you in front of God and all these witnesses that I would love you for the rest of my life, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and health, until death do us part. Psych!
Honestly, probably not, though, because, based on what you said, The real issue is that these folks don't want to do the work. I honestly don't even think giving them extra work is going to help.
But think about it. We make it easy for people to get out, but we don't make it easy for them to get in. What we do in marriage publicly, we let people skate out of it privately. Please, please pray for us during this time. This is a private matter. It wasn't private when you announced it to everybody and wanted everybody in your business. Now you want us out of your business?
You know, I think honestly, that we have a saying in business. We say hire slow, fire fast, right? And the thing about it is, I think if we did have, I think the solution is more so on the front end than it is on the back end, because I agree with you. If we put in like some mandatory work that needed to be done on the front end first, I think a lot of people wouldn't even get married in the first place.
That's facts.
They wouldn't even get married in the first place, or they would see some aspect of the work that would have to be involved. Because although you pulled it off in 5 months, I think in this day and time, that's not a scalable solution, because I think relationships have become a little bit more complex.
Dude, my story is the exception. It is not the norm.
No, I know.
For sure.
It truly is.
It's an aberration.
It truly is, because we got people that have been dating now for 5-6 years and they still having divorces. And we're in a very different time with relationship dynamics and, people not really having healthy, just fundamental aspects outside of the complexities that the world now brings into our relationships. And I think we really do need to regulate the entering of the marriage.
I agree.
On the front end, to actually make it more rigorous or difficult for people to get involved in the first place.
I agree 1,000%. Absolutely correct.